What's up, Coco Crew? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be going over 10 ServSafe Food Safety Study Guide questions that you'll find when you take your Food Safety Manager test. But today we're going to switch up a little bit. One of our subscribers sent us a dirty dining in South Florida restaurant video. Okay, and basically it's this restaurant in South Florida that had a lot of food violations. So I figured, what better way of watching this and connecting it with the questions from this particular section in the study guide that we're going to be going over today. You know, so because sometimes when you can relate questions with certain aspects in your life, you know, that's actually happening, it can remove some of that stress from studying. Okay, because yeah, if you're studying this, plus like a lot of you guys, I'm sure you're going to work full time, either going to school full time, you got family things you have to deal with, relationship stuff you have to deal with, work stuff that you have to deal with. So it can be really stressful for you when you are trying to study this stuff and trying to memorize it. You know, so that's the thing we want too, is when you're studying something, you don't want to really memorize it, but you want to understand it. So if you're watching something and you're able to put two and two together, it makes it much more easier on yourself when you go take that test, if you understand what I'm saying. Let's go ahead and watch this together. I'll pause occasionally, shoot some questions at you. I'll have the questions on the screen with the answer selection, okay, and then we'll continue that for the entire video. It's not long, it's about 3-4 minutes. All right, hopefully this can help you a lot.
In tonight's Dirty Dining, a restaurant that racked up some of the most violations in all of 2021, including a roach issue, was not ordered shut, and some are asking why. And
the scenario raises questions about inconsistencies that exist in the restaurant inspection process. Local 10 investigator Jeff Heinzier takes a look into the process.
The place Las Palmas Cafeteria, it's in downtown Miami, the address 209 Southeast 1st Street. Among the violations in this restaurant during a 2021 inspection, a dead roach found inside this juice machine. And
That's nasty. A dead roach found inside a juice machine. All right, that leads us to our first question right now. How often should you clean and sanitize for continual use? Every 2 hours, every 4 hours, every 8 hours, or every 24 hours? Talk amongst yourselves. Answer is every 4 hours. All right, every 4 hours. Next question. Butcher equipment, meat cutter in a refrigerated environment must be cleaned and sanitized every 24 hours, 2 hours, 4 hours, or 8 hours. Answer is A, 24 hours. All right, let's continue.
Several other spots, live roaches were crawling on a tray with clean cups. There was a stop sale ordered on moldy food. An employee was working with raw chicken without washing hands afterward. 40 violations in all, one of the most in all of 2021. But Las Palmas was not ordered shut.
Surprised this place wasn't ordered shut?
Absolutely. I've seen establishments that have been closed for much less.
Dave Steck is a certified licensed food trainer instructor.
It is absolutely a concern. Think about where cockroaches come from. They urinate and defecate as they're walking around.
That's nasty. That's nasty. So that leads us to our next question. Question number 3. What must be cleaned and sanitized as opposed to just being cleaned? Okay, so when you guys take this test, remember you gotta sometimes read the question twice, all right? Because sometimes these questions are tricky, all right? So question is, what must be cleaned and sanitized as opposed to just being cleaned? Is it floors, food contact surfaces, walls, outdoor garbage containers? The answer is B, food contact surfaces, all right? Next question, what SOP should a kitchen have that determines the who, what, and when of cleaning the facility? All right, is it kitchen maintenance schedule, facility maintenance schedule, staff cleaning list, or master cleaning schedule? Now you gotta ask yourself, what does SOP stands for? SOP stands for Standard Operating Procedures. And the answer is D, master cleaning schedule. Let's continue.
This is a health concern. It's a serious health concern. It can cause foodborne illness.
Danielle Egger worked for the state for 10 years, performed foodborne illness investigations before starting her own restaurant consulting business, and she's president of Florida Food Safety Systems.
The inspection, unfortunately, is very subjective, and it really shouldn't be. It should be just cut and dry.
Both say certain violations like rodent issues, roach issues, and raw sewage should trigger an automatic closure, but they don't.
Two of the violations were that none of the managers could prove that they had been properly trained in food safety and sanitation.
That ain't gonna be your case, because you're about to get your food safety manager certification, right? All right. And then one of the ways you're about to get it is by answering this question right here. So, question number 5. What should a food handler do before starting the 5-step process for cleaning and sanitizing? Should they apply a hat or hairnet? Should they rinse away food debris in the 3-compartment sink? Should they wash, rinse, and sanitize the 3-compartment sink? Or should they apply hand sanitizer to their hands? Okay, so the question is, what should the food handler do before? All right, so again, break the question down. What should they do before the starting the 5-step process for cleaning and sanitizing? Okay, the answer is C, wash, rinse, and sanitize the 3-compartment sink. Question number 6, what is the correct order of the 5-step process for cleaning and sanitizing? Is it A, wash, rinse, scrape, soak, sanitize, rinse, and then air dry? Is it B, do you rinse first, scrape, soak, wash, rinse, sanitize, and air dry? Is it C, do you rinse, then wash, sanitize, rinse, scrape, soak, and then air dry? Or is it D, wash, rinse, scrape, soak, rinse, then sanitize, then air dry? Which one of those is it? The answer is B. Okay, so you should rinse first, then scrape, soak, then wash, then rinse, then sanitize, and then you air dry. Okay, so remember that process. You might want to try it at home. Okay, rinse, scrape, soak, okay, wash, then rinse again, then sanitize, and then air dry.
In fact, inspectors have been to Las Palmas 2 times since that 40 violation inspection, and every time there has been no proof of state-required training for management and employees.
I'm the owner.
You're the owner.
Yes.
I wanted to talk to you about the inspections. Is everybody here trained?
Ma'am,
Ooh, she don't want to talk.
please. I'm not allowed you to talk to me right now.
Okay. You don't want to talk?
No, I don't want to talk.
Those reporters are so slick. The lady said she don't want to talk, and then he put the mic in her mouth. He's going to ask her, why don't you want to talk? To make her talk again, if you notice that. But leads us to the next question, number 7. A food handler can blank with chemicals or hot water, heat, to reduce pathogens to safe levels. Is it clean, rinse, sanitize, or air dry? One good thing you can do is plug each response in to see what makes sense, okay, to you, to help you remember what you study. So is it A, is it B, C, or D? The answer is C, sanitize. So if we plug that in, let's see how it sounds. A food handler can sanitize with chemicals or hot water, heat, to reduce pathogens to safe levels. Number 8, which is not approved chemicals for sanitizing? So which one of these can we not use for sanitizing? Is it iodine, quartz, chlorine, bleach? All of these are approved chemicals for sanitizing, or none of these are approved chemicals for sanitizing? So which one do you guys think is correct? Is it A, B, C, D, or E? The answer is D. All of these are approved chemicals for sanitizing.
The Department of Business and Professional Regulation inspects restaurants, and in a statement to Local 10 News, a spokesperson says, quote, the inspection of Las Palmas Cafeteria was carefully reviewed with DBPR's management team prior to the conclusion of the inspection. Emergency closures are evaluated on a case-by-case basis. Decisions are based on several factors, including the number of vermin, their location, and the proximity of food-related activities. Emergency closure decisions are made by division management and are not at the discretion of the individual inspector.
The flaw is that they're clearly not following the same protocol.
But I felt like the system needs to be looked at. I mean, something is wrong.
Antonio Jules' restaurant was ordered shut down, and after he cleaned up the violations, he says he couldn't get the inspector to reopen him. When we visited unannounced, he invited us in and the place was spotless. Jules has filed a complaint against his inspector, claiming she posted things about his restaurant on social media, and we've learned it is being investigated internally.
For some reason, she didn't like me. Can I tell you why? I don't know.
When you see something like this, is this fair?
Nah, not at all. Not at all.
Jeff.
Oh man, leads us to question number 9. What should the temperature of the water be in the 3-compartment sink? So that 3-compartment sink that we use to nicely clean our dishes and everything, what should that temperature be? Is it at least 110 Fahrenheit, at least 130 Fahrenheit, at least 171 Fahrenheit, or at least 180 Fahrenheit? So what should the temperature be? The answer is A, at least 110 Fahrenheit. Okay, that water needs to be hot. Number 10, our last question. What should the food handler do to test the concentration of sanitizer in the water? Should they visually inspect the color of the water after adding the chemical to it? Use test strips to measure the concentration of chemical in the water? Use a thermometer to measure the temperature of the water? Or make an educated guess about how much chemical they put in the water? We already know D is not the answer, okay? We already know A is not the answer, all right? Because we need hard evidence, if that makes sense. We need hard evidence, all right? So if A is not the answer, D is not the answer, that leaves us with B and C. So it's either between use test strips to measure the concentration of the chemical in the water, or use a thermometer to measure the temperature of the water. The answer is B. Use test strips to measure the concentration of chemical in the water.
Here, Local 10 News.
Jeff, thanks a lot. If you would like to see a list and the inspections for the restaurants that...
All right, that's the end of our video. Okay, that's the end of our reaction video. That's the end of the questions. If you like this format, let us know down in the comments below. Leave some coconut emojis and remember to subscribe. Also, too, when you do take your test, come back, leave a comment down below. Tell us that you passed them. Thank you again for watching our videos. All the flavor minus the frosting.